You are here celebrating Project Free CC, and you're going to be speaking here at TIFF. You're an inspiration to many people in the LGBT community. How does that feel to you to be this sort of kind of icon people are looking up to now?
Icon. I'm way too young to be an icon, darling. Maybe in 20, 30 years. If God willing, if I survive that long. It's a huge responsibility. It's often overwhelming. But at the end of the day, I try to remember that all of this is bigger than me, that I think I believe in God. I think God is sort of speaking through me, and so I feel like my job, this sounds very sort of grandiose, bear with me. I think that my job is really to listen to God's plan for me and allow that plan to speak through me. And I think when we align with that plan, things sort of go the way they're supposed to. And so when I think about that, I'm like, okay, this is not about me. Because honestly, that cover of Time magazine, that's crazy. The only way I can make sense of it is that it's bigger than me, and it's really about so many people out there who need that inspiration, who need to feel that their stories matter, that their voices matter, that their lives matter, and far too long have been treated as if they don't matter.
And being on that cover of Time magazine, I mean, was that like your childhood, all your dreams sort of coming true to see yourself on that?
I felt like I maybe accomplished a little something in my life. I've always dreamed that my work as an artist could make things better for the people who follow me. One of my idols, Leontine Price, she's a black opera singer, did that through her work, and the artists I admire have done that. So I've always dreamed of that, and so hopefully that will be part of my legacy.
And I mean, you've spoken a lot about your childhood and how that was for you growing up. What advice do you have for some trans kids now who are maybe listening to this?
I would say to them that their voices matter, that their lives matter, and who you are authentically is okay. That there is a voice inside of us that tells us who we are, and that it's our job to listen to that. And if the people around you don't understand that, there's support, and you're not alone. The internet, there's wonderful resources for you to find. And sometimes in some communities, there are resources, so go find that support and that love, because you're not alone, and it's going to be okay.
Have you had people come up to you and tell you some of their touching stories? Is there one that stands out in your mind?
There's a number. There's two actually that come to mind. Because one happened here in Canada earlier this year in Edmonton. I met a woman who is actually older than me, who she was watching the first season of Orange is the New Black, and particularly episode 3 gave her the courage to come out to her wife. She had not started transitioning. Her wife had no idea that she was trans, so they gave her the courage to come out to her wife and tell her wife that she was trans. She started transitioning. She's almost done with her transition, she told me. And that was deeply moving to meet her and to hear that. And then I got a letter from a 12-year-old a couple weeks ago who emailed me through my website and said that I'm 12 years old, I'm a boy, but I like to dress in girls' clothes, and I go to a camp where I get to do that, and my mother's supportive, and she gave me a copy of, it gets me emotional, she gave me a copy of the Time magazine that you're on, and you're a huge inspiration to me, and you give me hope, and it was just, I bawled like a baby. I think that, like, my God, when I was 12, if I could have had someone like that to look to affirm my sense of myself, my life might have been different. So.
Well, I mean, you're here now and you're celebrating WorldPride, and we have a big WorldPride show tomorrow. So what does Pride mean to you?
Well, when I think about Pride, I can't help but think about Stonewall, and this is the 45th anniversary of the Stonewall Rebellion, and so many people don't know. It's crazy. It amazes me how many people don't know that one of the things that happened at Stonewall and at LGBT bars, gay bars, all over the country at the time, is that the police would raid them, and they would line up all of the patrons, and if you were not wearing at least 3 articles of clothing associated with the gender you were assigned at birth, you'd be arrested. So that, and a lot of that history has been erased, that they were anti-cross-dressing laws. And so it's really important that people understand that a lot of the people at Stonewall who were throwing the first punches and the first bottles were trans and gender non-conforming people. And so often we have been pushed to the back of the bus in LGBT civil rights, and that part of the story is not often told. So I want to tell that story today and throughout this Pride season.
That's great. And just one last question we have to ask. Of course, Orange is the New Black.
Yes.
Do you know anything about season 3?
I do, yeah. I've actually seen 3 scripts for season 3. We've already started shooting, and I can't tell you a darn thing except just as funny, just as zany and crazy and amazing and touching and all of the things that you've come to love about our show.
Excellent. And your two favorite characters, or three or four?
Well,
Besides yourself?
besides myself, because I love myself, Suzanne, aka Crazy Eyes, played brilliantly by Uzo. I have so many, the actor and the script is so good when you want to play the character. There's so many moments where it's like, I want to do this, and she's so brilliant. But honestly, I also love V in this second season. V is like scheming and devious and I love V, but I love everybody. Whenever other actors from the show are asked that, they rarely actually say who they who they do. But I actually really do love everyone, and I'm so proud to be working with an ensemble of such brilliantly talented women. Amazing.